Good morning. It is Friday, March 7th. Welcome to the Inside Edge. So, yesterday I devoted the Inside Edge to talking about the calculations for New Jersey's 3 Republican congressmen when bills are put in front of them this congressional session. And today I want to focus on the other 11 members of New Jersey's congressional delegation, the Democrats. New Jersey is obviously a blue leaning state, so it's got a blue leaning congressional delegation that's helped along by a congressional map that favors Democrats. But all 11 of those members, both in the Senate and in the House, are trapped in the minority right now, which means that they, unlike Republicans, don't necessarily have the same responsibility for passing major legislation. They are not going to be confronted with tough choices about whether to cut Medicaid, what to do with SALT, so on and so forth in the same way, because most likely those kinds of big policy items that are put in front of them, they'll just vote no. But I wanted to talk about other bills and nominations that have come before Democrats in the Senate and the House, and the calculations that go into how they vote on those. I've talked with Senator Andy Kim about this a few times with regard to cabinet nominations, where when Kim first arrived in the Senate, his general ethos was, I'd like to support nominees that I personally believe might be good for the job. Even if I don't agree with a lot of what they say, I believe the president has some prerogative to choose their own cabinet, and I would like to have as good of a relationship with these cabinet officials as possible. He said that explicitly with regard to Kristi Noem, now the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary. He sits on the Homeland Security Committee. New Jersey is a state with a ton of immigrants, which falls under the purview of Homeland Security. So Kim said basically, listen, most of my fellow Democrats are voting against Noem, but I want to have this relationship. I want her to pick up the phone when I call. So I'm going to vote for her. And he did. And I think implicit in that kind of reasoning, and it's one that other Democrats around the country have used on various other nominations, is whenever Republicans are unanimously behind a cabinet nominee, that cabinet nominee is going to get confirmed. So Democrats, their no versus their yes vote doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. The person will become a cabinet secretary regardless. It's purely a symbolic choice of, do I register my protest against this nominee, or do I try to start off on as good of a foot as I can? And since the Trump administration and Elon Musk have started to get more and more aggressive with their approach to the federal government, both Kim and Senator Cory Booker have taken their foot off that pedal and have started to vote against nearly all of the cabinet nominees that come before them. They've decided that the potential for a good working relationship is not worth the symbolism of them casting this vote for people that they fundamentally don't think will do the job well, or that they think will just bow down to Trump when he tells them to do something. And then over in the House, I think the person that I would pull out of the lineup specifically is Congresswoman Nellie Poe. She represents a Trump-won congressional district, so that means the Republicans will probably be targeting her in 2026 and potentially beyond. And she has made the choice so far when House Republicans put up controversial bills on illegal immigration, on transgender girls in girls' sports, on a variety of other topics. She has made the choice each time or almost every time, to vote no. And this is something that, again, it mostly exists as symbolism because these bills all have unanimous Republican support or near unanimous, and so they will pass. And every Democrat faces the choice of, do I give Republicans potential fodder to attack me, or do I stand where I really believe and say, I don't like this bill, I don't like what it does? And Congresswoman Poe, in each of these really high-profile instances, has said, it's worth the attacks. Republicans are already attacking her, but it's worth the attacks. I don't believe in this. That's why I'm going to vote no. So those are the calculations that every Democratic member is making, both in the House and the Senate, and especially those in competitive states and districts, of, when do I try to send a message, and when do I recognize the majority party is going to accomplish something regardless, and it is not worth me putting my hand up and having it get shot off, basically. So that's something to keep on watching for in the coming months as these bills and nominations keep on coming before them. But that's where I'll end it today. So have a